There's nothing like a bomb blast to jog someone's memory. Hey everybody, I'm Allie, and this is my YNR chat vlog for Sunday, March 15th. We have Katherine back. The memories are coming back. It is a happy, happy day, and it's so wonderful to see her remembering things from her past. Only problem is she doesn't remember anything from a couple of months ago, including our good friend Murph, who I think we have all come to love. It's very sad to see her not recognizing him, not remembering the connection they have. It's a bummer to have to say goodbye to Murph. I wish that he could have stayed on the show, but the truth is, especially this week, we're starting to really see a lot of the Katherineisms come back. I mean, in a way, it's like, you know, she's holding herself in a different way. She has the Chancellor air about her, and in a way, it's like, you know, her and Murph probably wouldn't really fit anymore. But the Katherineisms are definitely there, for heaven's sake. You know, it's like you can just really tell it's obvious now that it's Katherine. But surprise, surprise, there are people who don't believe it's her still, including Billy and Kane. What do you know? Those two don't agree on something. Honestly, like, it would have been more... The only thing that was surprising about that situation was the fact that Billy and Kane didn't get into a fist fight over it. I would have expected that to happen. And of course, the whole entire time that Katherine's in the hospital, and Amber and Esther are by her side, encouraging her, Gloria's out in the waiting room, calling a TV conference, telling everyone that she saved Katherine Chancellor. Gloria never misses an opportunity, does she? The woman is such an opportunist. It was just sad and pathetic to watch her doing that, especially when the reality is Amber is the best friend that anyone could ever have, and especially for Katherine. She never gave up hope that Katherine was still alive. She went, got herself into a bomb blast trying to get Katherine back. She is her best friend. I love that those two are back together. They are just like two peas in a pod. The fact is, when Katherine reclaims her entire throne, she needs to go in and revise her will to give Amber more. Amber is 100% there for her. It's so cool. But anyway, Katherine eventually has this confrontation or meeting with this hospital psychiatrist who is so rude and completely will not even entertain the thought that she might be Katherine Chancellor. So Katherine has to lie to get out of the hospital, say that she's Marge. Of course, Billy and Jill overhear this, which is not going to help anything out as far as getting Katherine and Jill back together, but at least Katherine is out of the hospital. Now we're going to prove that she actually is Katherine Chancellor. I can't wait. We're getting closer and closer every day. She's got a room at the athletic club, and I guess, you know, part of the first leg of her strategy was to talk to Nikki. Katherine misses Nikki. They have such an incomparable connection, and it was hard to watch Katherine sitting there talking to Nikki, wasn't it? And Nikki just not wanting to believe it, not wanting to feel it, and Katherine getting so frustrated that she can't remember things. When finally Katherine, they kind of split up for a moment. Katherine comes back to the athletic club, and she remembers, and she starts telling Nikki the story of their conversation when Nikki was in Mexico, completely drunk, and Nikki was recounting a story that no one else could have known about her and Victor. And finally, Nikki broke down, and she hugged Katherine, and she acknowledged that it was her. I cried so hard. I think that was the last scene on Friday's show, and I was just shaken. Did you guys cry on that? I always like to check and see how everybody else's reaction is, but it was definitely a very, very emotional scene, and now we just have to convince Jill. So while Katherine is on her way back to claiming her fame and fortune, not everyone is out of the woods yet, because Kevin is still missing. shouldn't Catherine and Esther be trying a little bit harder to find Clint and Annie and Roger? I mean, after everything that they were put through, I would think that they would be going out of their way to help find them. It just feels, especially because Kevin is obviously with them. Everybody knows, and, everybody that's on the inside has kind of acknowledged that Kevin was a hero in the saving Mrs. Chancellor situation. Yet I feel like nobody is trying hard enough to save him. Everybody thinks that he planted this bomb. Even Gloria, especially Gloria, and her TV interview, calling the press to kind of explain Kevin's psychology and basically telling everyone that he's screwed up. It's like, leave it to Gloria to make things worse. You know what? In the future, Gloria, whatever instinct that you have, do us all a favor and just do the opposite, because it's always wrong. Every instinct you ever have to try to help is always wrong. In the meantime, Janet is freaking out. She is like Night of the Living Dead. I mean, her eyes are like dark circles, and she's like no colored hair, no fun Janet at all. It is Jana on the edge, and she's freaking out at Gina and Colleen, which was a really awkward scene. Freaked out at Gloria, rightfully so. I think that Kevin has saved Jana's life when she had the tumor, so it is definitely her chance to now save his life, and hopefully somebody's gonna come through on that soon. I'm feeling so horrible for Kevin right now. The scene with Annie and Roger and Clint shoving him into the trunk, heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. And from there, once he actually got out of the trunk, the story just gets weirder and weirder. Annie and Roger split, they've left, and Clint is left in this hotel room torturing Kevin like he's a poor dog, locking him in the closet and bringing back all of these childhood scars, which, by the way, only makes me hate Gloria all over again. Like, any woman that could allow her child to be locked in a closet and abused by a man, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I mean, especially, I guess, since I came from such a loving home, I never have experienced any abuse like that, but it just makes me so mad for her. Like, why did she let that happen to him? It's such an emotional situation, and the whole thing is just so freaking weird, and especially Clint and this whole daddy business. It's gay. It's the gayest gay storyline that YNR has ever done. It's like, every time Clint says, I can't even say it, do what daddy says, you want to make daddy proud, or you're a good boy. This whole daddy business is just sick and weird, and how awkward for that actor. I mean, it's bizarre. It's just bizarre. And then when, I swear to God, I almost like peed myself when, Kevin and Clint are having this conversation, and Clint's like, you're gonna do what daddy says, and they flash over to the scene of the chipmunk head. They show like the giant chipmunk head. I'm thinking like, what's going on here? I'm expecting the 70s porno music to start coming in over this scene any second now, and this like turns into some disgusting snuff film or something. What is going on? Who wrote this storyline? It's so awkward and weird. I know you guys are with me, because it's just like, every time the words come out of his mouth, I hope that Kevin kills Clint soon, because he was so close. I think it was on Friday. He almost mustered up enough sanity to stand up to Clint and say, I'm not going to rob this bank anymore. I'm not going to do what you say. I'm not going to do what daddy says anymore. And then he kind of withered down. It was unfortunate. But Clint's going to continue to use him for as long as he can. I hope that Kevin snaps back into sanity soon, or in fact snaps into insanity and just like kills him, and just like, I don't know, I'd like to see Kevin just set Clint on fire. Can we possibly make that happen? That would be a good end to a bizarre series of events. Okay, I need a break. Just talking about it gets me so riled up. So I'm going to take a break, and this is going to be the end of part 1 of my video for today, but we have a lot of other things that I'd still like to talk about. So I'm going to post a second video to follow this one, so please check back. I'll see you then.